Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for September 7th, 2025. The cords of death encompass me. From Psalm chapter 18, verses 4 through 6. The cords of death encompass me. The torrents of destruction assail me. The cords of Sheol entangle me. The snares of death confront me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. To my God, I cried for help. From his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. Now, David does not soften the reality of his situation. He speaks in images of overwhelming danger, cords wrapping around him, torrents of destruction sweeping over him, traps of death closing in. The language is suffocating. He feels surrounded, entangled, powerless to escape. These are the words of a man who knows the nearness of death and the desperation of life under attack. Yet, it is in this very distress that David turns to God in prayer. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. To my God, I cried for help. Desperation does not silence him. It drives him to cry out, and his prayer is not uncertain. He cries, to my God, the one with whom he has a covenant relationship with, the one who has promised to be his refuge. The result is staggering. From his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. David believes with confidence that his prayer is not ignored or lost in the chaos. God hears from his holy temple, the place of his presence and power. The Lord bends his ears to the cry of his servant. The distance between David's distress and God's throne is bridged by prayer, and God responds. Now for us, these verses capture both the reality of our trials and the certainty of God's care. We too experience moments when the cords of death seem to close in, whether through illness, grief, persecution, or the weight of sin. The torrents of destruction may feel overwhelming, but like David, we are not left alone. We can cry out, and God hears. Through Christ, this promise is made even more certain. On the cross, Jesus himself was encompassed by the cords of death and entangled by the snares of Sheol. He bore the full torrent of destruction for us. And yet, when he cried out, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit, his prayer was heard. God raised him up, breaking the cords of death forever. Because of Christ, our cries are joined to his and always reach the Father's ears. This means that no matter how desperate our situation, we have hope. Our prayers are not in vain. God hears us from his heavenly temple. He is not deaf to our distress or blind to our tears. He sees, he hears, he saves. So when you feel surrounded, do not give in to despair. Do as David did. Cry out to the Lord. The cords of death cannot silence the voice of prayer. The torrents of destruction cannot drown out God's steadfast love. And for his temple, he will hear and answer, for he is faithful to his people. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others.